Hi there, it's Claire here from Love Poppet. Just gonna give you a quick update on what everything that's been going on. It's 12th of June 2025 today. It has been a while since I last posted a Flosstube. I think that might have been February or March. I was gearing up for the Stitch Festival at that point, so I know I was very busy and it's just carried on. It's things are great at the moment, so I'm really lucky. But I just thought I'd mention I am going to be, there's a NOBAM retreat at the end of this month, which I am going to, and it's my first time of going to a retreat, staying there, stitching, the whole shebang. I'm going to see what retreats are really. I'm hoping I really enjoy it. I'm also going to have a stall there so I can sell a few bits, but I'm actually looking forward to getting a bit of time to just sit and stitch and natter. I've got really high hopes for it. I'm hoping that'll be me smitten by then and I'll just want to do more and more. I wanted to do retreats last year, but I was a bit too nervous to actually go on my own when I didn't know many people, but now I feel a bit more confident with it all. So yeah, if anybody's going to the NOBAM retreat, get in touch. I have no idea how you choose who you sit next to, and I have no idea about if you're meant to take prezzies for the table and stuff like that. I know I've heard people talking about it on their floss tubes. I have no idea what's expected of me, and I don't want to come across rude. I don't want to come empty-handed. I want to bring something. What that something is, I don't know. But yeah, so get in touch if you are going. Yeah, it's the one at the end of June, so go to that. And then I'm also going to be at a retreat in September with the Essex Needlework retreat. So that one's going to be fun. So I'll have that one to look forward to afterwards. And then the big news, which I think is coming out this weekend and such, is that I will be going to the Big Stitch next year, which, you know, I had so much FOMO about last year. I had seen it before on Flossabilities. I think that's where I first heard about it, when I was watching their Flosstube, and I nearly signed up, and then I bottled it because I didn't want to go on my own, didn't know anybody. At that point I was just designing stuff in my own bedroom and didn't really know any other stitchers, nobody locally, sort of thing. So yeah, I was a bit nervous and such. But yeah, this time I'm gonna be there for definite. And once again, I'm gonna have a stand there, so I should be able to sell some bits. I wouldn't mind trying to do a little course as well, but I don't know what I can teach, but you know, I thought I might give it a whirl. So if anybody wants to be a guinea pig, I'll do that. Yeah, so that all the announcements I think are coming out now, because tickets go on sale in, I think, on the 14th. So that's actually going to be Saturday. Yes. So yeah, if you want to, I might have only just posted this video by that point. So yeah, if you're interested in doing the Big Stitch and don't want to miss out like I did, get on the website. I think you can email in and get on a waiting list, or get on a list that tells you when the tickets come out. Anyway, but yeah, hope to see some of you there. Anyhow, on to the stitching. Like I say, last time I chatted, I was gearing up for the Stitch Festival, which is a big a retail show in Angel in London, and there's so many crafters there, lots of stitchers. It's just a lovely week. It's like a 4-day selling event for me, with I think 25,000 people come. It is pretty hectic, it's quite full on, but it is so much fun. All the other stall holders are lovely. We all chat, we all make friends, we go out for dinner in the evenings or a few drinks or whatever. It's really nice atmosphere. Would definitely recommend anybody going to it. I think you get to, it's it's always so nice to feel things in the flesh and kind of see them made up, and there's just a lot of creative energy there. And yeah, it's all unusual stuff as well. They're all independents. It's all, you know, there are the big shops that sell like Singer sewing machines or Brother or big kit sort of stuff, but the actual independent little shops, they're fantastic. They, yeah, couldn't say enough about it. I actually met Jamie, who's Mr. X Stitch as well. He had a stand this time where he was doing like a community project thing. To those of you that don't know him, I knew of him years ago. I used to follow his Instagram and I used to buy his magazines because he seemed to do, or had a lot of connection with the modern style of cross stitch, and it was so refreshing. It's what tempted me into designing in the first place. You know, it was just sort of like unusual, bright coloured stuff, what have you. Really good. Not particularly what I do now, but yeah, it was really nice to meet him in person, and yeah, and have a chat with him, and you know, get to see somebody like him. Who else was there? There was so many people that I met across that week. So interesting. There was some Flosstubers who come, and other stitchers that watch these Flosstubes. They came and said hi and told me if they'd watch me, which still a little bit weird for me to hear, but it's really nice. But I just feel a bit awkward, and you know, I'm not great with social interactions anyway, so you know. But Beth from Be More Creative turned up, and she had stitched my bee design onto the back of her jumper, which looked amazing. It was really big and it just looked fantastic, and obviously it works for her because she's Be More Creative. So yes, she outdid herself, and it was lovely to chat to her. She always comes over and has a chat. I've got a lot of time for Beth. She's lovely. Anyhow, yes. So the other thing that happened that weekend was I actually had a big birthday. It was my big 50, which I wasn't worried about, you know, I didn't feel much about, but it's just like, it feels like there's a lot of pressure that you have to do something amazing and what have you. Anyhow, that Saturday night I just went out and overdid it. So the Sunday I was feeling a bit ropey, but you know, you've got to do these things still, haven't you? But anyhow, because of all that, I had a Patreon that came out the next week, and I decided to name it I'm No Longer a Spring Chicken, which unfortunately is completely true now. So instead of showing you the design that I put up, this obviously was April's design, so it's not available now, but it will be coming out in printed pattern form and PDF in the next few months. All of my Patreons I keep exclusive to Patreon for 3 months. Then I put them into the shop, so you get another go at buying them before I release them to general public, which is probably about 6 months later. But some of them it could be up to a year later, depending on season and stuff. But yeah, so this one will come out in the Patreon shop soon. But I just thought I'd show you it because I was quite pleased with this one. Even though I'm no longer a spring chicken, I did want it to look nice and bright and fun. So this is my take on not being a spring chicken. I thought, let's go flamboyant, let's go jolly. And I really enjoyed stitching this one. It just made me smile while I stitched it. You know, there's obviously nice jolly colours, really, yeah, cheered me up sort of stuff. And I thought it was a little bit of a party chicken, which I felt was called for at the time. So that was my April Patreon. There's obviously been one for May, which was a Home Sweet Home one, but I haven't even started stitching that one, and I don't have a picture here to show you. But now we're into June. My June pattern is called Whale of the Time. So I just thought I'd show you that one. That is the pattern printed out sort of thing. That's the design. It's a whale, and it could be stitched just in the dark blue and the lighter blue, and then the infills you could leave empty. But I just thought, nice and jolly. I'm in a happy phase. I want things to be, yeah, a bit brighter and a bit more fun. So anyhow, that one I have started stitching. I've only done a couple of nights worth of stitching, but I just thought I'd show you it here so you can see how it's coming along. And this is the blue so far, the first blue. I think if you can see, this is the whale's eye. So that's the edge of the mouth. And I guess the nose and kind of head bit of the wheel is just coming here, and then I'll do the rest of the wheel going here. I've done it on too big a piece of fabric. You won't need anything this size, but I just thought I'd be generous because I don't know what I'm going to make him into. Quite likely a cushion. A lot of these I do as a cushion. And as you can probably see, or maybe remember, last year I did an octopus about this time, which I thought he was quite jolly and fun, and so I thought the whale could kind of go with it, so it might turn into a cushion like this and become a bit of a sea themed set. And going on from that, I did stitch my seahorse design, which was one from last year as well, and I've actually made this one into a cushion to go along with octopus. I've done those, they look a bit like a pear sort of thing, but this is my seahorses one all stitched up, and I'm going to now photograph that and start making the stuff to make a printed pattern, and I'll release it as a PDF. So this one will be coming out this month, so if you like that, keep an eye out for it. I did a few little amends compared to the original. When it was released on Patreon originally, the blue here was a slightly different blue, and one of these colours I've changed into a bit of a peach. It was a pale pink before, but I've just changed it into a pale peach. I did actually put a post in Patreon about the colours that I've changed and what I changed them to. Yeah, I just thought it just made it pop a little bit more. But yes, so these will be coming out into the shop soon. And actually following on from that, since I'm talking about Patreon, I might as well just say one of my other designs was called Beach Huts last summer. I've gone and stitched that one up, and this time I've tried to make it into a little tub bag. I think it was like a tub. I was imagining having it on the side with some towels rolled up inside, but I haven't got any towels with me. But yeah, I've made a little pouchy bag thing, which I was quite pleased with. I've never made one of those before, but I just thought I'll show you what I've created. I think that'll look quite nice in our shower room with the spare towels in. Just a little bit of fun. So yeah, this one I'll photograph up as well and make a pattern and release the PDF. But for some of you that were on Patreon, you would have already got this. So I just thought I'd show you what I've made it into. Be interesting to see what everybody else does. Yeah, so those are all my kind of summery themed bits and bobs. Oh, I didn't actually mention it, did I? When I was saying about the Stitch Festival, the other person that I met, which I think completely went out of my mind, unless I've said this before, can't remember, was Patrick from the Sewing Bee, the judge guy. He came over, and I've got my friend Emma on the next stand to me. He came over and just had a chat with us, and it was at a weird time where there was hardly any customers about, just me and her, and he just stood and chatted with us for about 20 to 30 minutes, took our business cards, wanted our details. I can't imagine he's going to do any cross-stitching anytime soon, but that was a bit fun, and I just thought of that because of me doing my stitching. I was quite pleased that wasn't on the stand at the time. I don't need him scrutinising my stitching abilities. But yeah, that was a bit fun. So you get to see characters like that when you're at these shows as well. Anyhow, sorry, I digress. Yeah, the other things that have been keeping me busy recently, I'm losing track of which order I'm doing stuff in, and so please bear with me. but one of them was I was approached by the Jane Austen Centre about doing a design for them to commemorate the fact that it's 250 years since Jane Austen was born. So they asked me to come up with a design and make it into a kit and stuff, which I've done for them. And it took quite a bit of time up and, you know, a lot of care and attention. But this is the design that I've done. Some of you may have seen it on my socials. This is Pride and Prejudice. If I can just put it there. As you can see, it's Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy. I'd like to say Rosling's Manor, Park, whatever. I can't remember what the house is called, but I know the gist of the stories. I am a fan, so yeah, I do like reading them, and I'm thinking about doing more of these. I think I've designed this a bit like a book cover. I did have a history in publishing, so I was sort of like, it's how I thought it through, really. And I wanted to make some nice text. I do like doing a bit of typography, and I do keep wishing I should do, well, I keep thinking I should do more typography in my designs. But it's, yeah, I never know what to say, really. I never know what the type should say. So when it's a title, that's easy enough. But I love playing with that and getting the colours and getting the type to read, and I love fiddling about with that. That's the graphic designer in me. But just so you know, Pride and Prejudice, even though it's for the Jane Austen Centre and they've got it in their shops and stuff and it's all been sold, I am still selling it as well. You can buy it as a printed pattern, which as you can see, my logo's gone blue for this. I've used the Jane Austen Centre's blue because it's a joint effort with them, and you know, they've let me use their lace colour on the back, which I quite liked. But yeah, so that's the printed pattern. You can also get it as a full kit or a PDF. You may notice the packaging is different on here, and this is sort of like almost A4 in size. The main reason for this is my normal packaging, the lovely black envelopes with the green, which I really love. I am currently struggling to get more of these black envelopes. I've been waiting 9 weeks and I'm still waiting to be able to get some. So this one, I changed the packaging to see if it would work in this format, since this was a one-off design as well. But what I do quite like about this is that in the back you can see what the pack contents are, which I wondered if that was quite a nice thing. You know, you can see that there's threads in there, you can see the materials in there, you can see the patterns there. So yeah, I wondered if that was a good move, really, because when I see people, when I'm on my stand and I see people pick these up, they, you know, they look great, but most people do turn them over as if to say, oh, can I see what's inside? And yeah, I think it's also reassuring for somebody to be able to see that everything is included. So I don't know if in the future a few more of my kits will be looking more this way. I've got to work that one out. But yeah, there you go. That's something to bear in mind. Yeah, so then the next things I've been working on, if you're on my Insta, you might, well, actually, if you're on my newsletter, you will know for definite I was doing a stitch along, a summer themed stitch along this year. But I seemed to only mention it on Instagram yesterday. No, the day before, and it actually started yesterday. So I would definitely say, if you want to know what's going on with me, my newsletter is the place that I'm going to keep most people up to date. But anyhow, so I'm doing a mystery stitch along. The pattern is completely mystery, unseen, what haven't you. But I would just say the previous one that I did last year is Dreaming of Summer. I don't know if you remember that one. That was the pattern. That was last year's. stitch along. So this one I've named Summer 25 Mystery SAL, and I've mainly called it that because I can't think of a name for the actual finished design. I thought it might be kind of fun as people stitched it. They might come up with some ideas of a name for it. So yeah, you see. But anyhow, the first part of the design was released yesterday. So this is the part 1. It is just a poppy. I've decided to start stitching in the bottom left this time because I'm trying to do, each section is about 1,000 stitches, and you get a section every 2 weeks, and so the whole design will become clear by mid to late August. And that was pretty much 1,000. I think it might be just over 1,000 stitches, but I thought it's a nice chunk of work to get done in one hit. So yes, I'm hoping that I'm going to get more frequent with my Flosstubes as well, and as we go along, if I do manage it, I'm going to be showing you each bit as I stitch it, so you'll see the picture grow and become the full thing. At the moment, that is £10 to join in, and that includes all the PDFs. I just is it 5 or 6? I think it's 6 PDFs this time, 6 chunks. So it'll you'll just get them all sent to you. It's only one fee, and join in the fun. And there's a Facebook group where you can join in and show photos of how you're getting on. You can stitch it on different colour fabrics, although I have pointed out there is a white included in the design, so you won't want to stitch it on anything too pale. You'll want it to be able to show the white, but it is summery. There will be flowers involved, but that's about all I can give away, really. That's the problem with doing a mystery one, but then that's kind of the fun, that you don't know what you're stitching. But yes, part 1, this is what you get at the moment. So yeah, let me know if you're doing that stitch along with me. And then what else have I got to show you? These are all my own stitching. So the only other things from the shop, or from my Love Poppet world, is I've done a couple of new needle minders which are going to enter the shop. Well, already have done actually. I have done a ladybird, which I quite like. I think he might look better sideways. But yeah, as you can see, I did do a butterfly last year, and I think he goes really well with that one. And then the other one to go with it is a bee. You can't do without a bee, can you, in your collection? So I'm hoping you can get a good view of that one. So as you can see, the two make quite a nice little pair. So I'm going to see how they go this summer, but I think they'll go quite nice with this stitch along as well. So anyhow, yeah, they are now up in my shop. Right, so I think that's all Love Poppet stuff. I did want to, before I get onto my stitching, I did want to just say I was sent some really, very kindly sent some bits from Tom and Lily Creations. They've sent me some gorgeous fabric, which I am so wanting to stitch on. It's a lovely linen. It doesn't have a name on it though, but this, I have to say, weirdly enough, and I've been doing this separately, I've been considering a Christmas design, and I was needing a colour very similar to that. So there is a good chance I'm going to stitch my model for my Christmas design on here. They also sent me this one, which is a what did you call it when it's sparkly? Is it iridescent? Yeah, I don't think that's the right word, is it? A sparkly one, a sparkly red, which also gives me festive vibes. You know, you could imagine, well, I can imagine doing those very festive. And they sent me a selection of their threads to play with and start stitching and see what I think of their things. But they're so lovely. They've sent me a really lovely colour pack, which could easily be, I could maybe do a whole palette, use this palette to do a whole Christmas design, because I think this would work really well. Look at those beautiful colours. These are called the Horse collection. Obviously Tom and Lily Creations are based in France, but the owner is English, so I don't actually know what Horse collection is. I should have maybe looked that one up. But anyhow, and it's Ors as in H-O-R-S. Yeah. So these are some lovely colours which I'm going to do, and if I do start stitching with them, I will come back on and show you what I've made with it. But I think some of these colours on there, I'm thinking of robin or something along those lines. I think that would be spot on really. And then this one, I'm thinking golds and greens. So yes, I am going to be planning away on that one and trying to design some lovely patterns. I'm very much doing all my Christmas designs at the moment. Seems bad when it's a 20-degree weather day, but yeah, I need to get on with the Christmas stuff so that you all have got something to stitch on the run up to Crimbo. Yes, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to Tom and Lily for these, and I'm thinking of ideas of how I can use them, and yeah, I'll keep you updated on that one, see how I get on. I always like a little, to me it's like a little puzzle to solve what I can do and how I can use them. It's just a shame there isn't any kind of holly greens. I might have to add in a holly green to this, but these will make a lovely robin colour. I can, you know, just looking back at this, I can see I could do a nice robin with these two and some browns and use the cream for his belly. I could see that. They're really nice. Look at them. Give you a close up. Is there a bit of brown? There's another brown there. You can see it come together, can't you? You can see where I'm going with this. It'll work. I think that'll work lovely. Right, okay, so yeah, so apart from that, I have been doing some stitching. Haven't done a lot because I've been mainly stitching my models and getting stuff ready to photograph. But I did do, to start off with, when I was at the Stitch Festival, I bought myself, or treated myself, to one of Emma's designs from Anne's Orchard. Because it was my birthday month, I wanted a birthday star, and obviously it's big birthday. So I went for the March birth month stamp in March for the Daffodil. That is the finished design, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this at all, but this is as far as I've got. I did that actually on my birthday. I started with the white flower in the middle, which isn't exactly easy to see, so I'm just putting it on a tilt so you can see. But that was my birthday start. I should really, my birthday was on the 24th, so I should really stitch on this one every 24th of the month, and then that would help me get through it all, because I find things easy to put down and then I don't pick it up again for a couple of months. I really should put some time aside and just keep doing that, because with these being the birth months, I also bought, I think it was August, because that's my husband's birthday, and I'm going to stitch his, and then I was going to stitch the two for our two girls as well, so that we have a collection of the 4 birth months in the end. I think that'll be quite nice. Yeah, and as you can see, this is on perforated paper actually. It's only going to be that big. The full design must come within that, so it shouldn't really take me that long. I should really get that out more often and work on it. But yeah, this one is my actual birthday start, and I'll look forward to doing that one. Then the other one that I bought, did I buy it there? What am I thinking of? No, maybe I didn't buy it there. But the other one that kind of goes with that timeline for me is Robin Pickens Seasonal Courier Robin Spring. This one. I did show this on my last Flosstube, so I can't have bought it there. But me and Sally from Flossy Sews and Grows, we were doing this as a stitch along. I'm sure she's a lot further on than I am, because I am not very good at keeping up with things. But yes, it is a beautiful design. I absolutely love this one. I love all the colours in it. And I have stitched a bit more than last time I showed Sally, I think. This is on a hand-dyed 28 count even weave that I hand-dyed myself. This is the one that I call Tarnished Gold, which I wish I'd done more of. But I've actually got that far into it. So as you can see, I basically picked up the greens this time. I think last time I had the yellow at the top here and a bit of orange, and I might have started this flower, but now I've I brought down the green so that I could start stitching anywhere really on the pattern, and then I started stitching the robin. I've got a bit of a fetish for robins actually. I'm always choosing a pattern with a robin on. I'm a bit of a sucker for a robin. So yes, anyhow, I've got that far, and I think I was starting to like finish with colours, because I've done all the white that's in this pattern. I've done all of that lime green, which is this bit, this lime green. I've stitched all of those bits. Yeah, and the browns, definitely the wing colour brown, I've stitched all of that colour, and I've stitched all the red in the pattern. So I've been finishing off various colours basically. I would start with a colour and stitch everything in that colour. So and that's helping the pattern grow, and also it's giving me spaces where I can then fill in the rest. So that's the way I've been going about that one, and it's looking lovely. I think that is such a cute pattern, and there's obviously 4 of them in the collection, because this is spring. There's obviously summer, autumn, winter, which I think I will probably buy and do as the seasons go. But yes, we started this on the first day of spring, or spring equinox. It was a date that Sally told me to start, and I started it on that date. I would like to say the 21st of March, but I might be wrong. So anyhow, I should really try and get this one finished before the summer equinox, and then I could start the summer one. Maybe I should plan to do that. That no-bam retreat wouldn't fall into that, but I could buy the summer one ready in time for the no-bam retreat and start stitching on that then. There's a plan. I could do that one, couldn't I? I could. Okay, right, so those were those ones. My other one that's kind of time sensitive, not really, but it is, was I'm a big Handmaid's Tale fan. And years ago I saw, who did I see stitching it? Oh, somebody stitched one of the Handmaid's Tales kind of cross stitches where it is like a close-up of the handmaid herself, like the hood. Oh, I don't even know who did the pattern. And I thought, when I saw it, I thought, I need to do a Handmaid's Tale one. And I kind of wish I'd bought that one as well. So I might have to track it down eventually. But if you are in the UK, the last series, it is going to be the end of Handmaid's Tale, is currently out. And it may have even finished, but I am behind on my TV watching as well as my stitching. So I am only a few episodes in to this season. But anyhow, I bought myself this to stitch while I watched it, which is the a famous phrase from the, I would say the first season of Handmaid's Tale. And I rather stupidly, I've got this off Etsy. I haven't written down who has designed this, so I will have to, oh, it says on the bottom here, the Craft Room Maven. I don't know if that's true. I will write on the bottom who is the designer. This is one that I've decided to do because I kind of thought it'd be kind of funny to have up in the house and a lot of people wouldn't know what it referred to. I'm not one that has a lot of TV posters and such around, but you know, I like this. Nolite ti bastardas Carborundorum. Maybe I shouldn't even try and say it, because I'm no good at that. But yes, so this one, even though this shows you how much I like the programme and how little I get to stitch, that's as far as I've got. It's a very pitiful start, isn't it? I probably did that in one full hour-long episode. There's barely anything there worth showing. But yeah, and these ones, I am using Paintbox Threads for this one. The fabric, I think, is just a Zweigart. Yeah, it's got the orange band on. So it must be their cream ivory even weave, I would say. At a guess 32 count, because I know I've got some of that in the office. Yeah, I am stitching that on there. So it's just a plain, I know it's colour 264, I think it's classed as cream ivory. But I'm going to use the Paintbox Threads and try those out because I've got a nice selection. Every time I do the Stitch Festival or the Knitting and Stitching Show, which is at Ali Pally in the October, Zoe's there who sells Paintbox Threads, and so I'm trying them out. I keep buying them and I'm like a little magpie near her stand. I just go, oh, this is a lovely colour. Oh, I'll have this one. Oh, you know, sort of thing. So yes, I am stitching that one with her threads and try them out. I think it's really good to try other independents kind of threads and stuff. So much of the time it gets easy just to pick up DMCs, but I don't know. I like to try other ones. I'm getting some little collections together of other thread dyers, so I'm gonna keep trying them out and see which ones I like and, you know, actually like to use or actually like the colours that they do. So then another thing that I managed to do some progress on was my Witchy stitcher, the Leave Me Alone I'm cross stitching, which should look like that. I haven't got that far though. I am currently, I did spend a bit of time on here, but I've basically just done this yellowy brown bit. Don't know what you call that, banner? I don't know. So yeah, if I do that, it is so punchy, this one though. Her type is fantastic, isn't it? Look how punchy that is. So yeah, I'm working along those and doing that. I really enjoy stitching her designs. I feel like she did one, it must have been for the Big Stitch last year, which was, I feel like one singular character stood there, but I can't remember what the pattern is called. And I've always wanted to buy that one. So whenever she releases that, I assume it'll be on the way up to this Halloween. I'm going to try and get that one because I saw somebody had stitched it and I thought it looked amazing. So that is one on my wish list. But I think the Witchy Stitcher is a fantastic designer. Yeah, can't wait to finish that one. And then my last bit of stitching, I told you it wasn't much today, is my Peacock. Cottage Garden Samplings. Beauty that is, the Peacock. Last time I had done a lot of the blue. I don't think I had finished off the whole Peacock, but now I have, and I've now moved on to like the olive green section, and I'm just loving, I should move that thread, shouldn't I? Actually, there's no good place to put that thread. I've just pulled it out and now there's no good place for it. But there you go. Yeah. It's so beautiful, this one. I really can't wait to see this one finished. And I'd like to make it up as a lid for something. So I'm going to have to find something that's the right size for that and finish it off. But yeah, so those are what I've managed to stitch. Not a lot, I must admit. But then I did finish off quite a lot of my models, so I'm afraid that's as far as I can go, really. I don't think I've got anything else to show or say, so I'll leave it there. See you later. Bye.